Hello and welcome to this week's video. It's another jam-packed video and I get so much done in the last 2 weeks, mostly out of necessity. We're very quickly heading towards rainy season. In fact, there is some rain predicted for next week. That actually does make me happy because we're also heading into olive harvest season again. Can you believe it? Anyway, the rain will help the olives plump up a little bit, and then thereafter I will probably be heading into harvest season again. There's not that much on the trees because all my trees did get a very heavy prune last year, but there are olives and I'm very keen to harvest them and to just get a little bit more extra oil again this year. The work that I have done in the last 2 weeks has all revolved around the two big projects that have been keeping me busy for the last while, in fact, but becoming more urgent with the rains approaching. Last week, in the last video, I added those beautiful fascias and gutters to the pergola. And then I was talking to the local farmer to where he told me that he knows someone that is a specialist in working with wood and specifically in wooden roofs, and that he would bring him for a little look at what we can actually do with that roof. We discussed all the ideas that we had with how to lower it, and yeah, the big thing that we've worked on was that a lot sooner than I expected to be working on that, mostly because I've been so scared to actually get that done. The guy came and what he told me made me a lot more scared about doing what we were about to do. It's Freya. Hello. What he told me after looking at the roof made me really scared for getting this done, because he literally said 50-50. 50-50 that it was gonna work, or 50-50 that it was gonna just fall right over and collapse. So it was an incredibly nerve-wracking day. I'm gonna take you and show you what I've done. So come with me and come check out exactly what's transpired in the last 2 weeks and which 50 we landed on with the pergola. Thank you to everyone that commented on the last video, and also I really do appreciate the outpouring of support that I get from you. I love reading your comments and constructive feedback and even tips. A lot of them do help me to come up with new ideas and to try stuff here at the farm. Thank you so much.
Is Girl Meets Farm.
Bucket of grapes, topped off with some quinces. Yeah, I think the piggies will enjoy that. Added some persimmons, quinces, grapes of course, green beans that I've got extra, and a pumpkin that I've also got extra. Oh, I'm hoping the piggies will like it. Are you building bottle bricks?
Yes, I'm busy rinsing. Steve brought me a whole lot of bottles that he found in his shed. So they're very old. And so I'm just rinsing them out now.
Cindy's always working. I think they're doing the opposite. Oh no! Come sheepies! Sheep, sheep, sheep!
Go on.
Sheep, sheep, sheep!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Hi!
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of you got out. Where are you out? Right, I'm going to have to just...
I've gone and bought 3 more supports before tomorrow's attempt at lowering that pergola roof. The day to lower this guy arrived a lot sooner than expected. After chatting with the roofing guy, he literally had 1 day free, and that was 2 days after our conversation. So yeah, it was pretty much take that day or wait 2 weeks, which would have put me firmly into the rainy week. So I didn't have a choice. I put my big girl pants on and decided, let's go ahead and get it done. After checking that the posts would remain aligned with the concrete supports on the ground level, that there wouldn't be too much movement once it shifts downwards, we decided that our original plan was going to work. We put 2 struts between every section. We have to support between every single area and make sure that that roof's weight was fully carried by these supports. We then cut every single post in place with a circular saw, hand cutting the last piece because the circular saw wasn't deep enough to cut through the whole beam. Maybe a good thing. Removed the bottom blocks from the posts.
Ready to go back.
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
Just there?
That's crazy. It's gone.
Hey!
And then ever so slowly lowered lowered all the roof into place, post by post, until it was done. And just like that, after all that anxiety, all that stress, it is done. Just to quickly add here, we could not remove the V's and put them in properly on the posts. The reason for that is because we cut the posts at the bottom and not at the top. If we had done this the other way, we could have possibly rested the top full beam onto the posts and then refit the V's, but because we cut it at the bottom, we can't actually make changes to the top beam or the V's. The pergola is lowered. Look at that angle. It is just so much better than what it was. Now, of course, for the bowing, I still need to put the middle struts in place, but that's okay. I can do that this week. But the big work is done. It's a bit lower. I mean, I can now touch it on my tippy toes. And when we have the floor here, I think the space will be 190, which is okay. It would have been nicer if it was higher, but you know what? It will do. It will do perfectly. And I want to show you what a big difference this really does make, because now you can actually see the line of the tile coming down. You can see the fall is no longer going backwards, it is coming down. So the water will for sure be running down those rows of tiles. incredible. There's no longer guessing if the tiles are going backwards or forwards. The fall is very clearly there. And now to put all the fascia boards back on and the gutter and just fix up everywhere where the wood got broken, but that's okay, that's just aesthetics. Oh my goodness, yes. Now that the pitch has been corrected as far as it can go, I've done the calculation on the degree that the pitch is now, and now it seems like the slope is at 8%, which is not really a great slope, but it is a lot better than what it was. So now that the slope has been fixed as much as we can, the next bit that I need to do is to strengthen the support rafters or beams in the middle of all of these spaces. At the moment, these spaces are 112 centimeters between each rafter, which is ginormous. Best practice is usually 400 mils between. Yeah, so when I was chatting to the roofing guy, he suggested definitely looking at 400 mils, so that's 40 centimeters in between the rafters, the spaces, for the best support, because of course this is already bowing, and yeah, you can really see it now, and he saw it first glance at the roof. The problem is the middle of these at the moment is not at 40. The middle would be 56. 56 between, as a spacing between the rafters, as I understand it, is fine when you have a larger pitched roof. But because this is relatively flat, 56 is really not going to be as load bearing, especially with the weight of the tiles that's currently on the roof. With my very basic understanding and reading up and calculating everything, it's going to be in my best interest if I do these at 40 mils. And I've tried to just draw up here what that would look like, because it won't be an equidistant. If I do 40 from that rafter to here and 40 from that rafter to here, it will leave more or less a 32 centimeter gap. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it actually doesn't look too bad. I hope my OCD won't be activated, but I think it should be okay if I do it in that way. I know that it's going to be so much stronger if I do 2 per row. Also, if I do it that way, in places where things are stuck in the middle, like here, that electrics and of course the light fittings, it would mean that it would pass alongside, so I won't have to worry about moving any of the electrical stuff that is up here, which does also make a lot of sense. So it will be like double whammy, but the reason I'm doing it is to support and strengthen this roof. The only problem is I have not budgeted in buying more wooden beams, because these are really not cheap. And it won't just be more of these than I had originally planned, because I had planned to buy 7 more to support at least in the middle. But on advice, it needs to now double to 14, of course, and not 7. So also I need to buy more metal brackets. So instead of 14, that becomes 28 more metal brackets, which is going to make this a really expensive exercise. But again, the roofing guy advised that I do this before winter. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to just go ahead and get the quote and get that ordered so I can strengthen this pergola veranda roof and be done with it. And of course, because the main outer support beam on the front and these posts were not connected in the more preferential way, which obviously led to these also not being connected in the more preferential way that I wanted, being if this was on top of there, this could stay and then it would be on the side here, which is a lot stronger than having it in the front here. But that, there's nothing I can do about that anymore. Those will have to stay as they are. So that's that. So I have to find other ways to make sure that this roof is supported and strong and can stand the test of time. So yeah, I don't really have a choice but to do this. For those that were wondering how the hydrangea is doing, well, I'm hoping it will live. It looks like it is trying to, so yeah, let's hope that grows into a big beautiful bush. From years of experience in hospitality, working with Airbnb, managing Airbnb properties, and being a superhost myself, I created this ultimate guide to help you reach superhost status or 5-star status on Airbnb or other booking platforms. The book is literally a step-by-step guide helping you from the very beginning, with exercises at every chapter. Everything to ensure that you will get a 5-star rating. If you have an Airbnb property or guest house and want to achieve higher reviews, do consider buying my book or gifting my book to a friend. It's available on Amazon worldwide for less than the cost of a wonderful lunch. Here we go again. I just got back from the wood yard with all of the, I don't know, are they called rafters? The beams for the pergola. And yeah, also got all the boxes of the metal support brackets as well from them. So all of this needs to get painted. All of the brackets, all of that, before I can get it up on the pergola roof. So all I see in my immediate future is a whole lot of painting. Here we are, back again. Right, all the bug treatment is on the next 14 pieces. That's gonna go up there. And that will need at least a day to dry, so before I can stain it. So maybe I can start the stain tomorrow. But while that is drying, I thought I would start on the metal brackets. This time I got a spray paint. Loki, are you gonna help me? Thank you very much. That would be very welcome. This time I got a metal spray paint that I want to try. But I just want to talk about one of my absolute pet peeves when it comes to this kind of stuff. Why would you stick a sticker on what would be like something someone would see? So now I first have to try and take off these 2 stickers so that I can test what the spray paint looks like on this. Just so annoying. Got some benzene, but I need some gloves. Alright, back with gloves. Oh, if we can get it on. There we go. We should just put some on and then let it soak in a bit. And then I will come back to remove that. Close this up for the cats. Benzene, of course, dries really quickly, so I try and scrape it off as best I can. The sticker. And then I will give that another rinse with the benzene. Let's see if this one comes off. Need more benzene. Alright, and then just another round with the benzene. And then after that, I rinse it off with a clean part of the cloth. And then let this dry before I will do the spray. Right, okay. Now I just have 28 more pieces to clean like that. Mission. Oh dear. Whenever I want to do anything outside, it seems like the wind decides to come up. So let's see if it's too windy to do this, and I must just try this another time. Let's see how this goes. Otherwise I need to paint them by hand, like I did the others. Well, that sure is easier than painting by hand. Okay, I think that worked. Perfect. Wonderful, that will save me so much time. Now to do the other 28. I'm finally back to paint the ceiling or whitewash it. If you guys recall, I stopped doing this because I knew that I was eventually going to have to fix the pergola or the veranda roof, and I wasn't sure whether everything had to come down. So I stopped doing what I was doing until I knew that I didn't have to take it all down and start from scratch. So now that I know we've dropped it and it won't have to come down again, I can continue the ceiling painting. And I need to complete this before I can put the new middle beams up, the new beam supports up, because it's going to be ridiculously difficult to paint in between the very small gaps or the 40 gaps that the beams are going to be. So it's easier to paint it all when it's still open. It's about an hour later, 45 minutes to an hour later, and I've only managed to finish this one panel that I started on. But it is so hot, I just can't continue anymore because the sun is about to peak out below the roof, and then it's going to be full on sun on me, and already I am sweating like crazy. So I'm going to have to come back a little bit later and try and do at least one more tonight. I've also managed to clean and spray 8 more of these. So there are a total of 10 ready to go, which means ready for 5 beams. And just like that, the full first coat of white is on. You can tell where the places are that I got more and more tired. Because as I get more tired, there's definitely more white everywhere where it shouldn't be. But yeah, okay, that's the first coat. I think I'm gonna have that dry a little bit. It does dry a little bit lighter than it goes on. So once these guys are dry, I will give everything a second coat. But now I am pretty tired. I need to take a little break, maybe have something to eat, and then I need to change jobs because working up like this is, my arms are getting a little bit sore. So I think next I will turn my attention to getting some of the beams or the rafters, whatever they're called, stained, so that I have at least 5 ready to go with the 5 supports, metal supports that are ready to go as well. And then try and get to work on the rest. Yeah, but first, a break. I moved everything inside, all the extra wood that I'm not working with at the moment, and the support struts, everything is back under the pergola. I don't think it's gonna rain, but there are some clouds that look a little sus. So even if it is just a few drops, which I doubt we will get tonight, but maybe we do, everything is now under the pergola, so rather have that wood out the sun and also out any potential rain for now until I have to work with it. But for now, back to painting. With the drier weather for the time being, it is time to use that to my advantage and silicone the gutter joins. Now I have no clue where my transparent silicone went. I could only find the black. Whatever, it's silicone. No one's gonna care if it's black up here, unless one of you have a reason to tell me that it does matter, but I don't think it does. So I'm gonna quickly silicone here, the joints, and then on the outside, one of you gave me a wonderful tip to try nail varnish in the same color to try and mask that horrible edge so that it doesn't look so obvious. So I'm gonna try that as well. While I'm up here, let me show you the runoff. There is a runoff, is all I can say now. So finally, this is not straight anymore. It no longer looks like the water will run backwards. Everything has a beautiful line coming down and hopefully into the gutter. So yeah, if it needs to move, this is where I can move it inwards, upwards, lower, higher. We shall see with the first rains how it performs in real life. But that is like 1000% better than what it was. Let me get the silicone, but to do that I need both my hands. So I'll see you afterwards. It's really difficult to maneuver in here. Can't really see well. Just hope that I get this done well enough. may need to move over there. Right. Need my hands. Might not be the prettiest silicone join, but I'm gonna let that dry, test it with water. There might be a gap there still, but I can't really see. But I can't manipulate that anymore. So I'll let that dry and move on to the one down there. So this color looked like it could match in the shop, but now that I have it here, I don't know if it's 100% the right color. I didn't have a sample with me, so let's open this. And test it together. Oh, I think that's very close. I don't even know if you guys can really see that on camera, but that is a near perfect match. Alright, I think that could work on the edges, so I might try that now. And I'm not about to go paint the whole thing, so I think I will just put it in the most offensive areas of the joins to just try and unmask them a little bit better. And then we'll see about the rest of the scratches. Yeah, that's that same one. And I think that actually looks pretty good. I'm not sure what it would be like on the more offensive ones, like this join here is terrible. Oh, that's really awful. Oh, it was cut so badly. Let's see what it looks like there. But first I have to do the silicone here. And I realized one more place at the end there where we also cut another piece. I realized that this one not only has horrible metal scratches, but there is still some plastic in there. So I'm going to see if I can take it out with a tweezer. Oh my goodness. Because you know this is going to bother me if I see this. And this is probably going to take too long for the video. So I'm going to continue trying to take this out with a tweezer. And I'll come back when I've got this done. Okay. Between a tweezer and the empty cutter, I got most of the plastic off. Yeah, it's just that little bit at the top that is like bothering me. And you know what? No one else is going to see this, but it's going to bother me to like no avail. Anyway, I'm going to step away from the gutter. And then I'm going to fill this one with silicone. So the interesting thing here is that the join is much further away on the inside than it is on the outside, but this one does leak. So I'm not sure if the water is running back, because this is definitely at an angle going down, or if it's the plastic in here, or the remaining plastic in here, that is making that space on the inside. So I think my first test is just going to be to add silicone. I may need to add some on the outside as well, but that I'm going to have to be so careful with because this is visible. I could probably move this a little bit over so that this covers that join a lot better, so I may try that as well. And then I can add silicone here and hide it. if the rains come, there's silicone in, and this still leaks, I may need to disassemble this completely. The only reason I don't want to do that now is because disassembling means I need to remove these two pieces. I need to separate them, and getting them like this was really, really, really difficult, which is why everything looks the way that it does. This was really not easy to work with at all. So let's see, first steps first. The join on the inside has been done. That's water droplets. Not actually sure if you guys will see this on camera, but that was a lot higher. So again, I will just need to test this when it's dry. The join on the outside I've done ever so carefully with just putting a little silicone around the edge, and I've tried to keep that as neat as possible. I couldn't go much closer for fear of disturbing that silicone, but there is a very slight edge all the way around. All the way around. That means I can't put the varnish on now or move this bracket, so I'm just going to wait for that to dry and then I'll come back to this one. Fingers crossed. Right, it's time to start round 2 of the whitewash on the ceiling, and I've decided to start with this one here in the middle, this one, and then I'll work my way towards that side. This one is the most affected by the bowing, so this is the one that I'm going to start with first with the additional support. So this one I want to be dry, which means I also, once this is white, need to paint its 2 sides in the brown stain, in the mahogany stain. And I also have 5 posts ready to go, which means that is for 2 compartments and a half. So again, when I start with this, I need to do more of these, but these will be good to go for this compartment and that compartment. At least those 2 are the most bowed on the whole ceiling. So yeah, let's get at it. Also, honestly, that nail varnish idea was such a great idea. It looks perfect. It looks so good on where I have put it. Like, only if you look super closely will you actually see where I have put anything on. But like, looking at it from far away, you can't tell that there were scratches there. I still haven't done all of the scratched areas, but that's okay. I just wanted to do the joints so far, and this one was the last one I did where I had to put like a lot of silicone on the inside and the outside. The outside is actually looking really good with regards to the silicone, as is the inside, but I can't get up there to show you right now. So I'm gonna give this at least 1 or 2 more days before I put the varnish on for that silicone to dry really, really well, or to cure really, really well. But yeah, other than that, I'm really stoked with how that came out. Today I have my little bucket, and I'm gonna try and pick some good olives here. These ones are table olives. I want to try my hand at preserving some olives this year. So some of them look like they've got some bugs, but let's try and find some good ones. Good. And now I just have to weed out the very obvious ones with bug infestations and replace them. I feel like that's a pretty decent haul. So now we top this with water, close it up, and then we will change the water every few days until it is time for the actual brining process, whereby I will add some nice herbs to give this some extra flavor. These are the ones that didn't make the cut, and yeah, not too many. and I will go throw these out. The cats had knocked a box of my newly sprayed brackets down, and some of them scuffed a little bit, so I just need to respray these. Thank you, cats. And then pack them somewhere where, well, I thought that was a pretty good place, but I guess I was mistaken. Pack them somewhere where the cats can't knock them over again. So what did you think? How did we do? Yeah, I cannot believe that it worked. Lowering that pergola down, honestly, I was so stressed that entire day. Every single movement, every single time, the roof just went like a little bit down. We all stood there just waiting, giving it a second, and then moving on forward. But honestly, I'm so happy that it all worked out, and now I have that beautiful fall on the roof that it needed from the beginning, and I'm really excited to actually for the rains to come now so that I can test and see how that roof works, and the gutters and everything is working well. The next big thing for me is going to be adding additional supports below that roofing structure, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on in the next week for the next video. Hopefully that will be done by then. So if you like this video, please give it a like. Please drop me a comment. I always love hearing from you guys, and let me know exactly what you thought of all the work that's happened in the last 2 weeks. If you are new to the channel and not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe. It is completely free to stay tuned to my journey and what I get up to here on the farm. We've got some exciting things in the next couple of months as we speedily head down towards Christmas again. And of course, not forgetting the new olive harvest, and I'll take you guys along for that journey again this year. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.